coach wasn't around. One would say they came 2 minutes to tip off and all of that. It took them a minute to get into the hang of the game. But Lev looked the better side. And in terms of matchups, as Melissa has talked about, on the inside, on the outside, it's been interesting to see the guards go, go at each other. But an important thing to look out for tonight, John, is that Margaret Bagala is back. One would say she had been close to Tracy Namugosa when it comes to the best players. She's going to be key in tonight's matchup.
Yeah, of course, a lot of stuff can be said regarding that game 3 that the UCU Cannons lost. Quite a number of things happened along the way, of course. Like we said, they had exams and all that. But also, we also have to agree, especially for you who are basketballers, that you can have an off day. Yeah. It just can happen. And whatever you try to do, you can just have an off day. I'm sure that for their sake, they'll hope that it's not another one that repeats itself today, because we don't know what is in the mindset of the KCCA Leopards, because you know that KCCA Leopards, on the other hand, they had a very good game. They came up, guns blazing, they were fighting, and everything seemed to be falling into place for them. Depending on what has happened, especially considering what Melissa told us yesterday about maybe some of the players laxing a bit, depending on how the attitude could have changed, you never know what to expect. So many times I could remember when we came here for game 3, I told you that it would be another easy win
for the UCU
Lady Cannons, and then was shocked by that. Now, depending on the mindset of the KCCA Leopards also right now, seeing themselves 2-1 down, they probably think we can force a game 5. No reason why we can't do it.
For sure.
But for me also, the other thing is that the UCU Lady Cannons came in early and the full squad were here warming up. For the KCCA Leopards, on the other hand, they had 7 players, and now later on that they became 9. Now then later on they became 10. Now when
a bit
you
of
have
disorganization in camp.
I actually met a player walking in. I was like, "Aren't you playing in 30 minutes?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I'm like, I was so confused. How come they're not getting warmed? How are you walking in with me?
You're always here to slay.
Slay.
Yeah, exactly. So you see, when you look at that, then you probably wonder how locked in they are, because you see the day they beat UCU came late. KCC were here early and they warmed up quite well. Now they are the ones who have come in late. UCU came in early. Could it be another determining factor on how this game could go?
And you know, the other thing I've noticed, you're talking about players coming in as you walk in, Melissa. The other thing I've noticed is that there's a chunk of JT Lady Jaguars players here. Probably the whole team alongside the coach. There is an expectation for many that UCU is going to close it out tonight, and then they will be meeting JT Lady Jaguars in the final, and maybe game 1 of that final series could probably tip off on Sunday. So for JT Lady Jaguars, it's a good thing that they're here to watch whoever would be their matchup.
Oh no, 100%. Usually at tournaments, we're always sitting and watching. Even if you have a game at 1:30, the next game is at 2, you're always watching to see what the team is doing, what are they running, how can we do better, how are they playing together. It takes those little things. Even if you're watching as a team, it's important, because when you discuss with your teammates, what do you see, what do I see, how can we try and beat this team? It's phenomenal. I mean, they're a great organization, and to see even their coaching staff here watching this game, they don't have to be here, but to be here and watch, scouting basically, it's phenomenal. It's good to see, and they're locked in for the finals. You can't expect anything less from them. If the finals start on Sunday, I feel they're coming out guns blazing.
70-55 was the final score in game 3, the game that really gave the KCCA Leopards life and back into the series. But when you look at how they've played all season, Vianney, what has stood out for you when it comes to KCCA? On my end, they blow hot and cold. They have players who have been inconsistent. You never know who is going to turn up on a particular day. But one thing I've really enjoyed watching is Zaina Lokwameri on that floor. Her leadership, the fact that she has played this game for a while, she has been their motor, she has been their go-to. You look on the other side, you have Sharwa, who has stepped into a point guard role as well. But on your end, what has stood out for you throughout the season about this KCCA Leopards squad?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head when it comes to KCCA Leopards, hot and cold. But you know also, the other thing is that against the bigger teams, say the JG Lady Jaguars and the UCU Lady Cannons, they struggled in the regular season against them. I don't think they even clocked 40 points in those games. In the playoffs, on the other hand, they have shown improvement, because remember that game 1 of their semi-final, they had 71 against 79. So there's been improvement. Game 2, again, 6-point difference. They also really came quite close. So you can see that there have been improvements in their performances. Now, that is the reason why I wouldn't want to compare the regular season performances to their playoff, because it has been so different. You can see that they have stepped up, and I don't know, like you said, whether it's been a result of, say, players like Angela Lokwamwedi coming in, or also the fact that they have now played together for a whole regular season. Now they know exactly how to interpret the plays, how to apply themselves, because a host of them have improved from what we saw in the regular season. I'll give you an example. Sharua, she played a lot better than we saw her play in the earlier games in the regular season. When you see how she's played in the playoffs, you look at Ninette as well.
Yeah.
She looks like a player that is on a mission to try and prove something. You look at Lillian Cherotich. Also, you can see improvements in her performances. So it's very difficult to compare the KCC Leopards of the regular season to the KCC Leopards that we see now.
One thing you can say though and compare is the bench. You see Lady Cannons have quite a deep bench, Melissa, and in playoff series like this one, you're going to need to call upon people to step on the floor and in big moments. How ready do you think these UC Lady Cannons are?
I think they are locked in. I mean, like you said, they have a really, really deep bench. There are players coming off the bench that could easily start for any team in the NBL on the women's side. So for them to have that is being taken to their advantage. I feel like that also kind of helped them in Game 3 when they were kind of down. They had their substitutes come in. Their players who were usually starring weren't really playing their best. So the subs came in and gave them numbers off of the bench. If a team is able to do that in this playoff series, it's a big advantage. It's a cheat code, and it's going to go for them a long way in this season.
Melissa was quoted on the rebound yesterday when she talked about Namwongo having a deep bench, but we haven't seen any of it. Like, we haven't seen going to work. One thing UCU has done, Coach Nicholas and Coach Emmanuel Chigui have trusted that bench. It will go a long way. On the other side, a 5-man rotation, maybe 6 to 7 players, but Tracy Nyamugoza has been very key. Most of her points, however, have come in transition. If they find medicine to that transition, what other options does KCCA have when it comes to scoring? They've struggled to beat a set defense, but what other options do you think they have to give themselves an advantage on the offensive end of the floor?
Personally, I feel that the other option should be Rebecca Anyi, the big player, as well as maybe Asna Kabendela. Now, the question is, how much have they worked to improve? Because I just don't feel that they are playing with confidence. They have not shown that confidence yet. They can make a huge difference because of their size. Now, it starts in the head. For them to believe in themselves that I, as Asna Kabendela, I can go there and do it for my team. I, as Rebecca Anyi, I don't like it when players feel sorry for themselves. And you just feel that maybe Rebecca Anyi, despite being a captain, she's playing like a player who is a bit restrained, but also feeling sorry for herself.
I know she was
taking the bull by the horn.
She was injured at some point.
I think towards the finals, the semi-finals, she came back from an injury, a really bad, terrible ankle sprain. So that could be playing into it. It could explain it, but also you can imagine maybe there's a level of intimidation playing against players like Martina Nyango. She's who's guarding you in the paint. I mean, you've had it kind of easy going against other post players in the UPDF players, but other teams who are not as strong and dominant post players. So that too could be a factor as to why she hasn't been playing to her best ability.
But also maybe because you see, Melissa and Sarah, if you look at KCC generally this season, one of the biggest complaints that we've had about them is that I think they struggle to believe in themselves. Now, in Game 3 of the semi-final, you saw a totally different belief.
Even in body language.
Yeah, in the body language. Now, if they can do that and believe, because you look at the games that they lost, 79-71, 76-70.
7 points in game 1, they sliced it to 6 points
exactly.
in game 2.
Now, it all starts here, that when they started believing in themselves, that's when they put up the good performance and they won the game. If they come back that way, there's no reason why they can't push this, the UCU Lady Cannons all the way to the wire.
Yeah, and for the UCU Lady Cannons, apart from Martina Anyango, this sadly is one of those seasons where we haven't seen Sheila Lamunu express herself. I'm meant to understand she's struggled a bit this season with injury. And if you are going to make it to the final, that is a player you need to be 100% healthy.
Oh no, 100%. Not just on the offensive end, because she's a point guard on the floor, she's leading the offense, but defensively, Sheila is the best. You want her guarding the best player on the other team. You want her guarding, if they make it to the finals, Shakira Nambubia. That's exactly what you want. So for her to get better, they need it. And if she's not able to do that, other players on the bench have to step up. But you ask, besides Martina Anyango, I think Sylvia Nachichuka is a very, she's phenomenal. Watching her play and the growth that she's had this season, the way she's shooting the basketball, the way she's playing confidently is amazing to see. You can see how they gel well together with not just her, Sheila and Martina, but all the other 5 on the floor. It's phenomenal to watch. But also, I believe Natongo Sylvia has been playing phenomenal basketball this playoff series. I feel like she's going to be another person who's going to add a lot for them in this game.
I know you need to go and take us through commentary, Vianney, but what else do you think the UC Lady Cannons, they've looked like a team that can shoot the basketball really well. When they're not shooting the basketball, they need Martina and Sylvia to go to work. The first big man coming off the bench is Sarah Namale. How much do you think of experience has she had to be able to give a hand to the big men?
Well, I just think that Sarah Namale has also not played as well as she can. And
she can do much more.
I still feel that she needs to improve her attitude because she's a good player, but sometimes you feel that she doesn't put in as much. I don't know whether she feels that because Martina is there, she doesn't have to exert herself so much, or because there is Sylvia Nantongo. Now, she needs to start realizing that she's got responsibility and she has things she has to execute on the floor. Coming with that attitude that I've got to come in and play a role, not thinking that Martina will do everything. And I think that somehow, I feel like something that affects her game, that she probably feels that, well, I'm second fiddle, I don't need to exert myself so much.
I hear you.
But also, going back to the issue of Sheila Lamuno, for example, while we wax lyrical about Martina Nyango, but this UCU Lady Cannon side thrives a lot when Sheila Lamuno is also playing well, because of what she does on that ball. Now, whenever they don't have very good facilitation, ball being brought forward well, then you start looking at a team that has sort of like a bit of shape problems from Sylvia Nachichuka positioning and whatnot. So clearly, that game, especially game 3, exposed them quite a bit.
A lot, yeah.
The absence of Sheila Lamuno, because of how she guides the floor and how she distributes and facilitates. So without her, then you feel that there's a bit of a chink in their armor.
Is that your X factor?
I mean, I think so. You could almost kind of call her the veteran of the team.
Yeah.
She needs to be the leader, just like Zaina is for the other team.
Yeah.
She's their veteran on this team, and she needs to step up. They definitely missed her in game 3, and it was very evident.
Yeah.
So now that she's back, game 3 is gone. I believe she needs to come into game 4 with that same mentality she had for game 1 and game 2. I'm the veteran on this floor. How can I lead my team and push us towards the finals? We don't want to close a game 5. We want to close it now, here, and now, and that's it.
All right, a bit of pressure on players like Martina as well, because they need to turn up. They also looked a bit shaky. When Martina is not producing inside the paint, it's like, who else is doing something? Who else is going to pick up the team? Your predictions as we close the broadcast?
I think you see Lady Cannons, for me, I feel that after losing game 3, there is that reaction that's going to come from them to try and set the record straight.
The rude awakening they needed.
Yeah, exactly. I think so.
I'm going to call UCO as well. I feel like it would be close a bit until the 3rd, and then UCO will run away with it.
All right, thank you so much. I will be talking to Melissa as well throughout the game. At halftime, we'll be back here, and at full time, we'll be back also building up to the next game for the gentlemen. City Oilers, Namongo Blazers. City Oilers lead the series 2-1. For the UC Lady Cannons, they lead the series, but get into this game with only one option, or with only one goal: to win, punch their ticket to the finals, and meet the JT Lady Jaguars. Thank you to Melissa Kulu and John Benesimbe. We'll see you at halftime and full time. We'll take a quick commercial break. Gloria Chamgisha will be in the commentary alongside Michael Chigoti and John Benesimbe. Remember to download the MTN TV by Afro Mobile for as low as you can. By the way, you can have your little MPs and you'll watch for as many hours as you can and catch this game live on MTN TV by Afro Mobile. We'll see you at halftime.
Well, it is the UCU Lady Cannons against the KCC Leopards in the postseason. Game 4 of, will you believe it, the semi-finals of the best of 5 series. It's been an interesting postseason here in the top tier of Ugandan basketball. On one end, in the men's category, are the finals. In the ladies category are the semi-finals. So it's been one of those seasons.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, good evening, Michael.
Good evening, Gloria.
And thank you for reminding me that this is actually a semi-final, because the atmosphere we are in currently here at the arena does not spell the phrase semi-final between these two ladies' sides, and especially seeing that we haven't had any ladies' action in a while, a long while. That long hiatus, because a couple of the Lady Cannons players had traveled for the 3x3, the Youth Nation stop. So they have returned. That's the reason why we have backtracked, for lack of a better word, that is. We've backtracked. We are
I do not know which hairstyle a certain player wears. So, but I'm blessed that I have good company of Gloria Chomgisha as we await game 4 of this series. UCU leading 2-1 in this series, having won 79-71 in game 1 and then 63-56 in game 2 before succumbing to a 70-55 loss against the former champions in the KCC Leopards. Well, it is not quite the finals as you see in our graphics, but that's where our mindset is.
Yeah, we have to remind ourselves that it is the Women's National Basketball League semi-finals or semi-finals, if I'm to use American English. But if you use European English, semi-finals. This particular tip of the Friday night hoops, game 4 as it stands between these two sides. So definitely the KCC Leopards, like you mentioned, after defeating the UCU Lady Cannons in their last meeting, the momentum has definitely shifted. Favor is shining upon them and they are looking to force a game 5. But if they don't do so, then the UCU Lady Cannons will set up a date with the Lady Jaguars, who I've seen a couple of them strolling into the arena. For them now it's about witnessing who their next opponent will be after they swept the Magic Stormers in their series. For them, they are now comfortable just waiting in the seats for their next opponent when they play the finals.
Well, Gloria Chomgisha, you are champion in this league. Was this break necessary in your opinion?
If I give my actual opinion, I don't think several people will like it. But, well, it was necessary, seeing as a bigger chunk of the Lady Cannons players was away. Zoe Atek, we've seen what she has done in terms of numbers and contribution for the UCU Lady Cannons. Mariam Namkwaya away as well. The likes of Sarah Namale away as well. So 3 of those key players for the Lady Cannons being absent definitely was the reason as to why this was held tentatively. This fixture was held back and now allowed to play forward tonight in their game 4.
So we have a software update indicating NBL semi-finals now. We understand. Ladies and gentlemen. So in one sentence, Gloria Chomgisha, what are the permutations for the UCU Lady Cannons against the KCC Leopards? For somebody who is just tuning in, what are the permutations?
Well, it's going to be such an electric fixture, this one, and this particular game, seeing as the Lady Cannons, much as they don't have much to lose if they drop this game, they want to finish it. They want to be the ones playing out maybe on Sunday in a finals appearance. But for the KCC Leopards, backs against the wall. It's a win or bust. it's a win or say bye to your season for the team in the all white tonight. So it's going to be such an electric fixture because I'm sure majority of the players here are not just raring to go, but we'll have some of the best female basketball on display tonight in terms of creativity, in terms of skill, in terms of team play, teamwork. So definitely for the fans out there, fans waiting for the tip-off as we also wait here at the arena, it's going to be such fun and electric basketball to watch between these two sides. The Lady Cannons taking on the Leopards.
Cannons in the blue and the Lady or the KCC Leopards in the all white. Both champions in recent seasons. But tonight it is a semi-final series. The team in the blue walk on court first. They lead the series 2-1. But this series, it is at the semi-final stage. For Ben Komakech and Tony Drileba, they must win or go home.
Absolutely. You look at that picture there, those are the head coaches, the coaching staff of the KCCA Leopards. That is, of course, Tony Drileba, like you said, and Ben Komakech. For Tony Drileba, it's going to be some long night tonight for him, as he also doubles as a player, a point guard of the Namongo Blazers, who will be playing later on. But for now, opts to take the touchline as the head coach, the leader on the floor for the KCCA Leopards. They welcome back Margaret Bagala, Michael. So I'm sure for the KCCA Leopards, definitely that is such a huge boost for them, having Margaret Bagala returning to the bench. She did not feature in the last 3 games that they played. They lost 2 to the UCU Lady Cannons before they eventually picked up the 3rd one. As we go underway, the tip-off are going to the favor of the Lady Cannons. So they welcome back the Margaret Bagala tonight. She starts on the bench, but her presence is something that I'm sure the KCCA Leopards will love.
We are underway for game 4 of the best of 5 semi-finals. Put simply, blue wins, they are into the finals. White loses.
I like how you narrowed it down.
Yeah, they are out. And there are no draws in this basketball game. And they know what it means to win tonight.
Absolutely. They start like a house on fire through Rebecca Anyu, the captain of the KCCA Leopards, dropping one from downtown. The first 3 points for Rebecca Anyu, the player that leads in terms of scoring. She holds the scoring record with 46 points in a single game. So she starts the KCCA Leopards off with the 3-ball.
And those 46 points were against the Angels. And tonight, if the team in the white are to stay alive, they need a W. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to NBA Sport. We are here at the indoors of the Lugogo Arena. My name is Michael Chigoza. I have Gloria Chomgisha with me. Gold build-up from our courtside team has another good start from that record holder.
Absolutely. Captain Rebecca Anyu starting off in style and showing that the leadership starts not just from wearing the armband, but with the way you have played. She's struggled throughout this series, and it's good to see that she's come alive in this decisive game for the KCCA Leopards. That is 2 back-to-back threes for Rebecca Anyu to start them off.
Well, in your opinion, do we have a series in this, or could the long break have impacted what could have been your prediction earlier on?
I think we have a series, Michael. I mean, a couple of players had suffered some injuries, so they had a chance to rest out those injuries. You see you welcoming back their players, some of their star players. So definitely, I think we have a series on our hands after that break.
Ajara misses. Leopards in possession. Only team so far to score tonight. Can they get onto the score sheet again? The answer is yes.
And not just a yes, it's a thunderous yes, because they are getting on the score sheet in style, dropping 3 after 3 after 3. Tracy Namugosa, who has been their leading scorer in the league so far, has to drop from the corner, following her captain and the leader, Rebecca Anyu. 3rd 3-ball for the KCCA Leopards.
9-0 the score. Lady Cannons able to beat the shot clock. Chance for a 3-ball, and it does get to draw. First point for the Mukono Best side.
They needed that, the UCU Lady Cannons. Through Hajara Najuko, a rare start for her. She comes on the starting 5 for the UCU Lady Cannons. She sought for that 3 ball, attempted the first time, didn't get it to drop. And this she did respond with the 3 ball for the UCU Cannons. As there's a whistle on the opposite end, Ninette Uineza seems to have buried another 3-point shot for the KCCA Leopards, but that has been dismissed as we take a look at the replay. An illegal screen called against her teammate. Much as the 3 ball dropped, it has not been allowed by the referees because there was an illegal screen planted by her teammate, who was Asina Kabendela.
Well, the interesting thing, Gloria Chomgisha, is that on the official scoreboard,
it has counted.
It has counted.
Well, we'll go with the 12 points for the KCCA Leopards. Well, I guess both counted. The bucket for Tracy, but also the foul on her teammate Asina Kabendela.
So shortly, that score will be adjusted to indicate 14 KCCA, the team in the white. And
definitely a mid-range dropping there for Rebecca Anyu. Everything she's put up has been money for the KCCA Leopards. Her field goal eventually drained to take them to a 14-point score on the board for the KCCA Leopards as they pick up a foul on Anyango Matrina of the UCU Lady Cannons, who are still struggling to find the back of the net. They've only had 1 3-ball converted through Hajara Najuko. Haven't been able to score any other bucket so far, the UCU side, so they only have the 3 points that they can boast of.
Hajara, the only player so far to get onto the score sheet, has a second bite at the cherry. Can't hit the triple.
It's a great box out by Rebecca Anyu as she took out Matrina Anyango. Her strength is in rebounding, and on the opposite end, Rebecca Anyu able to get one, but unable to convert that one top of the key. She's already had 2 3-point shots for the KCCA Leopards, but this time it is an air ball as the ball rolled over the baseline. Martha Soigi tried to rescue it, but was unable to keep it in place. So UCU Lady Cannons still with just the 3 points will, of course, get that adjusted. So 3 points for the Lady Cannons.
And I wonder why the electoral official for our graphics team is awarding the Cannons 5 points as of now. They have 3 from Najuko.
Hey, well, you see you. Pressure.
That will be adjusted.
Mr.
Of course, we are
Producer
joking about
is under
it,
pressure.
but yeah.
A travel violation committed by the KCCA Leopards, and the UCU Cannons have a chance to respond. But I like how the Leopards have started this ball game. A huge lead for them. They lead by the 11 points over the UCU Lady Cannons. They know that once they have a lead over them, they want to force the Mukono-based team to be the one that chases the scoreline, and not the opposite, which has been most cases every time that these two sides have met.
Well, what does the return of Nick Natueres on the UCU Lady Cannons bench as Hajara Olovi Najuko goes for a 3-ball?
Only
Second
player to
successive
score.
one. Only player from the Mukono Best side to register.
Yeah, the 6 points. The solo 6 points are held by an individual player who is Hajara Najuko of the UCU Lady Cannons. But to your point, Michael, the question you posed about the return of Nicholas Natueres, I don't think Emmanuel Chigui did a bad job, honestly, handling the team with the absence of the head coach at the time, because they went up 2-0, the lead in the series, before the Leopards responded.
This time, Lovi or Hajra Najuko not able to connect from downtown. And it will be possession, the Leopards. Both teams have tasted the sweetness of a championship before.
They have. But one has not seen it in a long time. And that's the KCCA Leopards. That's the reason why they need this victory tonight. A chance that will see them force a game 5 and maybe even go to the finals for a first time in, 8 years, Michael? 8, 10 years?
And if they are to stay alive,
yeah,
there's a statement performance.
It is
from that lady.
One. I mean, opening quarter, and we're already using keywords like statement performance. 3rd 3-point shot in the game for Rebecca Anyu for the KCCA Leopards, as she's forced to guard Anyango.
Trina Anyango, fresh from international duty. Shows what she's made of from the charity stripe.
Does Mombasa count as international?
International.
I'm sorry, Matrina, but does Mombasa count? I would say Ivory Coast. Well, Anyango makes 1 of 2 for the UCU Lady Cannons.
Cannons in the blue. If you're just joining us, Leopards in the white. Matrina, just a 13 off the glass, not able to connect. The put back. Gets
Strong
to
put
go
back.
down.
Strong putback from Nantongo Sylvia there. Just came cruising in after the missed layup by her teammate Anyango Matrina, and she was able to get the putback and her first bucket. 2 points for Nantongo.
Anyo. Leopards trying for the 3. Not quite able to connect.
Now this time it is Sharwa Nachiria who did come off the bench for the KCCA Leopards, trying to get her first 3 points in the game. She replaced Ninette Uineza, their point guard. So Sharwa Nachiria donning the jersey number 3 with that step back 3, unable to connect from downtown. But KCCA will definitely rule their chances. They've so far converted 4 3-point shots. That amasses to 12 points on the 17 points that they have. And 3 of those shots belong to one player. That's their captain, Rebecca Anyu. As they make another change, Lilian Cherotich is also introduced for the KCCA Leopards.
Zoe Atek looking for the 3 ball. Can't hit. Loose ball into the hands of Matrina Anyango. Matrina! It's gone as the whistle goes.
The KCCA Leopards try to stop her on the drive. Anyango Matrina, as she was tumbling to the ground, knows that of course the whistle has gone, and if she can just try and hoist up one, which she does so brilliantly, very calculative on the finish for Anyango Matrina, who gets the bucket to drop for the UCU Lady Cannons. The bench loves it. It was right where the bench is sitting, and they did celebrate that one for their teammate Anyango Matrina, who has now a chance to make it a 3-point play.
Speaking 3, she has 3 points to her ball game. The big man of the Mukono best side makes it 4 now, and it's a 5-point ball game. Cannons trail in this ball game, but they lead the series 2-1. Best of 5. Top tier of Ugandan basketball. There is a breach of the boundary.
Oh yeah, I thought the ball movement was quite brilliant for the KCCA Leopards. Eventually, Sharwa Nachiria in the corner wanted to dribble drive against her defender. That's where she's caught stepping over the sideline, out of bounds. The possession going to the UCU Lady Cannons.
Zoe Atek. Nantongo. She's a sniper.
Is yet to snipe for the UCU Lady Cannons. Hustle for the rebound between Nantongo and the newly introduced Margaret Bagala off the bench. And eventually ball goes off the chest of Nantongo Sylvia of the UCU Lady Cannons. So that possession will belong to the KCCA Leopards. Of course, more changes have been made by the Mukono side. We see Ijiraneza Siela also coming in the point position. You talked about Zoe Atek, and the likes of Ijiraneza have been made to come off the bench. The rotations coming in early this time for the UCU Lady Cannons, who have largely been maintaining the same 5 in the opening quarter, but this time they make changes. Martha Soyigi misses, gets her own miss, but is unable to finish the bucket for the KCCA Leopards.
So chance for the Cannons to respond. Matrina, big man, hits the iron. Leopards through Tracy Namugosa, a candidate in my book for the MVP award, at least regular season.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you there, Michael. Absolute agreement from me.
Nantongo not able to connect for the Cannons. We saw still a couple of empty seats tonight. I don't know what to make of that.
More fans are coming in. I'm telling you, Michael, you'll blink and you'll definitely see a packed arena before you know it, you'll see a packed arena. Foul called on Nantongo Sylvia of the UCU Lady Cannons. She missed her first try, was trying to out-hustle the KCCA Leopards for the rebound. It was eventually called for a holding foul, her first personal foul. That's shot 11 of the UCU Lady Cannons.
Leopards. Namgosa not able to hit. Matrina. 5-point ball game. No team has scored in the last 2 minutes or so. Can they exchange that start? They have a second bite at the cherry. 3 ball. Can't get to drop. And the Leopards will possess through Namgosa.
Sylvia Nachituka with the third try from downtown. She's attempting to score the 3 ball for the UCU Lady Cannons. Unable to drop it. And Margaret Bagala with the rebound was trying to cruise across the half before she eventually lost possession.
We saw before that layup attempt from the Cannons jersey 9.
I like what Nachituka has done on that last possession for the UCU Lady Cannons. Right there is Sylvia Nachituka. We talked about her being the sniper for the UCU Lady Cannons. She's attempted thrice and she's not been able to find that 3 ball. So she changes her game around, goes on the drive, becomes a driver and draws the foul against the Leopards, which sends her to the free throw line for her first point in the game.
Makes it 14 points for the UCU Lady Cannons, who lead the series. Yeah, 2 for 2 from Nachituka. 3-point ball game. What's the response from the Leopards, who are yet to trail in this ball game? Martha Soiji drives to the hoop. Can't finish off the window. Well, the Cannons not able to utilize that offensive move. From Faith Aseru. What's the response from the Leopards?
Such a great pass, entry pass from Martha Soigi. She was top of the key on the high post. And a slow cut, but a sure one from her teammate, who is Nachiria, able to get the pass from her and finish it off the backboard for the KCCA Leopards.
Travel violation called against a player coming off the bench.
That's Ijira Neza Siela, the point guard of the UCU Lady Cannons, being called for that turnover, travel violation.
Have a look at the shot clock. If you want to enjoy some action, somebody is aware, because the seconds were running out.
Yeah.
She was aware but not able to hit the ultimate goal. Hits the iron, but Q1 ends in favor of the team trailing in the series. It's the Leopards 19-14. What's been good about the KCC Leopards?
Shooting. They've just shot the ball brilliantly tonight in the opening quarter. 4 3-point shots by the KCCA Leopards, and I guess it was how their leader and their captain started the ball game for them. 2 successive 3-point shots before eventually the rest of the pack followed through. So the opening quarter, they've been brilliant when it comes to finding the bucket from long range, from long distance. So those 3-point shots accorded to the KCCA Leopards and giving them a rewarding opening quarter, the 19 points coming in ahead of the UCU Lady Cannons. But also, I think they've gotten a couple of stops defensively. UCU was late to come to the party, and that was because of the defense by the KCCA Leopards.
Well, Gloria, we had a very early start to this National Basketball League 2026. And a lot of the basketball Einsteins predicting a UCU Lady Cannons versus JT Lady Jaguars women's final. What can you tell us about what's happening tonight?
Well, they might need to revise those notes. The notes that they've made about Lady Cannons being the ones to make it into the final against the JT Lady Jaguars. Of course, this series is still alive. Seeing how the KCCA Leopards are playing in this Game 4, this series is much alive, meaning KCCA will want to force a Game 5 and also dominate the game 5. If they come in the second quarter and they do the right things that they have been doing, finding the open spaces, relocating on the court, shooting lights out from beyond the arc, this series is very much alive. We could see a different opponent for the Lady Jaguars.
Well, from my co-commentator, she couldn't have put it any better as we come out for quarter 2. Anybody's game as it is right now. And it will be the UCU Lady Cannons to get us underway for quarter 2. Zoe Atek, fresh from the under 21 3x3 basketball. Whistle against the Lady Cannons.
And is stepping over the boundary by Zoe Atek. Almost had a steal coming up for the UCO Lady Cannons on Ninette Uineza of the Leopards. But as she was gathering the basketball, her foot slipped and went over the line as Margaret Bagala attempts from beyond the arc. Her shot just kisses the rim and out. The first try for Margaret Bagala of the three-point shot.
Zoe Atek, daughter to Henry Malinga, one of the best centers, if not the best that this country has ever seen, not able to connect for the Lady Cannons. What's the response from the Leopards? Through Bagala.
Margaret Bagala draws a foul. She attempted the 3-ball in the last possession, but this time changes it, goes on the drive. You can see her there in the corner. And as Maria Masasha was closing out on the drive by Bagala, she drew the foul, a reaching foul by Maria Masasha of the Lady Cannons.
5-point ball game as one of the camps does call for a timeout.
Is it too early?
Well, I feel too early. I mean, 20.
No, I'm just asking.
Barely.
Is it too early to ask for that hurdle, timeout hurdle?
Barely 30 seconds
I know,
into
right?
the next quarter.
So maybe a couple of things that head coach Nicolas Natuhereza needs to issue out with the team. He's made changes because we see a different 5 that is now on the floor for this second quarter of the ball game for the Lady Cannons. It's a whole different 5 for them. So some things that, as you see Coach Nicolas Natuhereza in the huddle with the blue t-shirt, collared t-shirt, he's just drumming across the instructions to players like Mariam Asasha. She was on the bench. She stepped on for the UCU Lady Cannons. Ijiraneza Ciela. They have Faith Aseru replacing Matrina Anyango. They did have Zoe Atek towards the end of the opening quarter. And the only survivor from the opening quarter is Nachituka Sylvia. So the changes, I guess, to the players are some of the things that the UCU Lady Cannons were speaking about in the huddle. Identify who you're guarding, but also step up the pressure. I mean, it's a game that you're chasing. You're down 5 points. So step up the pressure defensively.
We come out as Sharwa attempts, hits the iron. What's the response from the Lady Cannon? Zoe Atek. Cannons looking to get back into this ball game.
A drive to the rim from Asero Faith. But this time she can't connect for the 2 points. Both teams yet to score in this quarter, second quarter here at Lugogo. As Ninette Uineza almost had a dime to her credit, but Sherina Mwenyango was slow on the cut. You see her there acknowledging, she says, my bad, was slow on the cut. Idea was brilliant from Ninette Uineza, her point guard, but the pass way ahead of Sherina Mwenyango, and it went out of bounds.
Lady Cannons to try and launch an offense. Zoe Atek, Aseru, and now a play ball goes down for Sylvia Nachituka.
She definitely needed one to drop. Her 4th try, and that's the lucky charm for Nachituka Sylvia, has been the 3-point shooter for this UCU Lady Cannons team in this 2026 season. So once she gets going for the KCCA Leopards, that might present a problem for them.
A chance for the Lady Cannons to tie the ball game or even take the lead. Zoa take. Batrina ties the score.
Yeah. 5 unanswered points, just like that, by the Mukono side, the UCU Lady Cannons. They go on a 5-0 run. The Leopards looking to respond, definitely need to reorganize their offense. Lilian Cherotich trying to pound her way to the rim, but the help side defense from Zoya take a little late, and she bumped right into Lilian Cherotich. She picks up a personal foul.
Well, can we say all of a sudden that timeout for whichever camp called it benefited the Lady Cannons more than the Leopards?
Yeah, it did benefit them, but also they made changes because they took Acero off, returned Anyango, who has done some work for them. You saw her on the drive, the last play, to get the bucket.
Leopards looking to respond from a play off the bench.
Lilian Cherotich off the glass and into the net for her first 2 points of the game, but also the first bucket in the second quarter for the team in the white.
Zoya take, looking for, take it left, gets the whistle, and the bucket to drop.
Well, they might have to remember that she is fresh from Tunisia. Zoya take great left-hand drive right there, creates her lane, finds her space, and is comfortable with that left hand, smooth on the finish as well. I was just saying they might need to remember that she's still very fit because she's just been taking part in the 3x3 Youth Nation stop in Tunisia, where the ladies' side finished second to Egypt. So definitely for Zoya take, she still has that energy burning inside of her to force her team, to rally her team into the finals.
Well, is it a sort of game 4 that we expected as we are tied here in quarter 2?
It is. It is. I must say I like what the KCCA Leopards have done. How they started the game, going 11 points up against the Lady Cannons, but also the Lady Cannons finding their footing eventually and closing the gap. So definitely we are in for a long session between these two sides in the next 3 quarters of the game.
Later tonight, this might be the icing on the cake, but later tonight, I don't know how you can describe it.
You tell me, what do you think later tonight? I'm still enjoying the ladies' tip-off for now. But later tonight, Michael, to respond to you, it's going to be mouth-watering.
Well, share with us.
Like you always say, those who have heart problems might want to stay away from the arena.
Not good for heart health later tonight.
They might want to stay away from the arena.
The City Oilers. How is that standing in the series in the men's category?
It is a 2-1 lead. The City Oilers bouncing on Sunday to take that 2-1 series lead in Game 3. But such a close one. For the first time, we had an overtime game in the finals. That game had to go into overtime after Namngongo fought back to erase a 13-point difference in the final 2 minutes of the game. And they forced an overtime, but they were unable to overcome the surging Oilers, who now lead the series 2-1. But reason I say it's going to be such a mouth-watering clash, Michael, and very fiery. If you look at the scores for all the 3 games, the biggest lead, the biggest victory has been by 6 points. And that was in Game 1, where Namngongo defeated Oilers. The rest of the games have been 4 points each. The final score, a separation of 4 points. So it's going to be such a fiery clash.
In other words, blink at your own peril, as the Leopards are blocked.
That was a great pass from Sharua Nachiria into the drive, into the cut of Margaret Bagala, who is on the interception on the defensive end. She's able to return and deny Nachituka Sylvia a pass intended for her to finish at the rim, but great interception from Margaret Bagala defensively.
Lady Cannons basketball. They're being counted down. Sheila Lamunu hits the iron and the putback. Does it count?
It does. The attempt from Sheila Lamunu did hit the corner of the iron, and Martina Anyango just positioned herself calmly right under the rim, picked up the miss, and was able to get the putback to drop another bucket for the UCU Lady Cannons.
first time that the Lady Cannons are ahead in this ball game. It has taken them this long. Can they even make it better? There is Lamono. Orchestrated the comeback. Zoya take, loves her left, off the window and in.
This young lady is really growing in the game of basketball, not just as a small forward, but as a guard, because now she's showing us that she can stop and pop off the dribble for Zoe Atek. This time around, gets it off the backboard and into the net.
Anyo. Margaret Bagara. Leopards blocked. Whereas the buzzer has gone, they can continue to play. And play they continued and made it count.
Well, that play was started by Lamono Sheila on the ball guarding Sharua Nachiria. She got her first block in the game. The shot attempted by Sharua was quickly blocked by Lamono Sheila, and eventually Sylvia Nachituka on the run, and away she got another bucket for the UCU Lady Cannons. And that is exactly what the KCCA Leopards need to stop, the breakaway buckets from the UCU Lady Cannons. They are a transition team. If you allow them to get comfortable, they'll blow you out with just fast breaks.
Well, the Leopards looking for answers after leading the game for majority of this first half. Here's Tracy Namugosa, usually a go-to player for them. But the clock does expire on them. And they'll be disappointed.
Well, that was an attempt from Tracy Namugosa. She didn't get the field goal, but her teammate Rebecca Anyu had the rebound and was denied the finish by Anyango Matrina in the post play from the UCU Lady Cannons. The big man had a block on Rebecca Anyu.
Zoya Tate can hit. Rebound. Tracy Namugosa to bring it down. They trail 6 after leading for majority of the game. The team in the white. Susan gets it to drop and the foul to count.
Well, again, court relocation, court repositioning, and this time it rewards the KCCA Leopards through Rebecca Anyu. She's on a scoring run this evening for the KCCA Leopards. Relocates on the floor. The pass finds her right under the rim. She reverses it in, much as she's bodied up by the defense of the Lady Cannons. The foul will count, but the bucket as well for Rebecca Anyu. She gets the bucket to drop, and the timeout is taken by the UCU Lady Cannons, but they will return with Rebecca Anyu going to the free throw line.
Well, some of the standout moments in this first half in game 4 of the semi-finals in the ladies category. Matrina Nyango there with a finish, fresh from international duty. And here's somebody coming off the bench. She loves going left. Speaking to her mother, telling me that's her secret weapon over the course of the season, as the UCU Lady Cannons look to complete their run to the final. Looks like it won't come easy, especially with that lady in that form. Just 11 points to her name.
Actually 13 if you count this last basket.
Yeah,
basket that she converted. So you're right, with that lady in fine form this evening for the KCCA Leopards. That's Rebecca Anyu awaiting her turn at the free throw line. She's leading their scoring with the 13 points in the game. Has started scorching hot. Her efficiency tonight is on point. Everything she's put up has been through the net for the KCCA Leopards. So they'll want her to stay at that level and even maybe step it up higher on the 13 points that she so far converted on the scoring end.
As lucky to witness her 46-point game. It was on a Sunday afternoon against the Angels, as she misses from the charity stripe. So sure, That game is in the record books for her as the Cannons look to attack.
Sylvia Nantongo almost drew the foul, wanted to draw the foul actually, but no foul called as she's denied the finish by Margaret Bagala of the KCCA Leopards, and they get themselves a chance after Nantongo loses the basketball. She did tumble to the ground and lost possession.
Leopards drive to the hoop is good.
That's a good drive. Great way to execute if you are Asina Kavendela. Great way to find the space and the loophole, the gap in the defense of the UCU Lady Cannons. She beat the primary defender, who is Anyango Matrina, just squeezed past her and through, found herself to the rim and the 2 points.
Makes it a 2-point ball game. Cannons through Matrina. She was aware what was happening on the clock. Well, the buzzer went, but the whistle that was not heard by so many people also went at the same time.
Oh yes, it was a foul. Foul called against the KCCA Leopards. And it looks like it's a foul on Bagala Margaret. She was trying to deny Nantongo Sylvia the rebound, and she picked up a personal foul.
Matrina Nyango looks for Zoyate. Told you she loves her left.
This time Zoyate can't finish off the left side for the Lady Cannons, and the rebound will go to Asina Kavendela of the Leopards.
Leopards trail by 2. Kavendela, and they tie the score again. That just 11.
The lady who cannot make any mistakes tonight is Rebecca Anyu. She now leads with 15 points off that bucket for the KCCA Leopards.
Matrina, second 3-point attempt. Went wrong for the first attempt. She's clean on the second.
Make sure that her team goes back in the lead. The UCU Lady Cannons power forward with the 3 ball for the Lady Cannons. Now the spin move for Rebecca Anyu doesn't count. This is the first time I see her miss in this particular game. An attempt at the rim for Rebecca Anyu.
Close game you anticipated?
Yes, absolutely. This is according to the script that I read earlier. I don't know if
you about it as Tracy Namugosa counts her 2 steps, not able to connect. And she'll be disappointed that they lose possession entirely. What a player she's been, Tracy Namugosa, just a 5 for the Leopards.
No, definitely. She's rallied them into this particular position where they are now fighting to force a game 5 for Tracy Namugosa. Has not caught fire as yet. She only has the 3 points to boast of in this opening half of the game. But we'll definitely count on her to get that rhythm going for the KCCA side and herself as well in the second half.
Again, we bring you up to speed with some of the better plays in this game. Lillian Cherotich, just a 14, White off the bench, usually a productive player. Matrina Anyango, fresh from international duty, and so is this lady. First year student at the Cannons or at the Mukono Best side. Both teams know how sweet a championship is, and what a productive night that Susan Anya, just 11 White, is having in this game 4 of the best of 5 semi-final series.
Now 15 points is such a mean feat for a player like Rebecca Anyo. If she continues doing the things that she is doing in the entirety of this game, you can count the Leopards forcing a game 5 against the UCU Lady Cannons.
Matrina is called for a travel violation. She expected a foul.
Yeah.
Call against the Leopards.
Yeah, well, that was a travel violation committed by Anyango Matrina. There was a pick and roll run between her and Lamono Sheila. As she got the ball, you could see already she was in transition.
Free ball, hits the iron, but still, Leopards basketball off. Zoe a take of the Cannons, and it still be possession, KCCA Leopards. Well, they were shocked last season, the team in the white, by the Magic Stormers in the quarterfinal series. They had to last the entire 3-game series in the quarterfinal series, but still,
yeah, they fell short.
They fell short.
Well, they did calculate their path this time around and made sure that they avoided the Magic Stormers, who were on a collision course with the JT Lady Jaguars that took them out at the semi-final stage.
Free ball stretches the Cannons lead, and it's their jersey number 10 in Sheila Lamunu.
That's her first 3-point shot in the ball game. The UCU Lady Cannons point guard Sheila Lamunu with the one from downtown. Tracy still struggling, commits a travel violation. She was on the drive, was caught in two minds to make the extra step to the rim or to kick out the pass, and eventually she moved an extra step instead and committed a travel violation.
Well, that's the 3-point space scoring machine like Tracy Namugosa, just a 5 white.
Yeah.
As we look to some of the changes that the Cannons are making. I mean, how do you get back into a ball game for one of your scoring machines that is having a struggling night offensively?
Well, the good thing, Tracy Namugosa doesn't have to think a lot about scoring because you now have the hot hand of Rebecca Anyu. She's doing everything possible to keep the team in the ball game. So for Tracy, she just needs to continue making their best reads on the floor, best reads with the rest of her teammates. But you can see that because she knows that she's a scoring machine, she's trying so hard to find the back of the net.
Zoe attacks, comes up short. There's Tracy. Usually a scoring machine, limited to 3 points. But this has been a lady who has been scoring most of the points for the Leopards, who need to keep alive, but too little, too late. And after leading for most of the first quarter, the team in the white, the KCC Leopards, find themselves trailing by 6, 33-27, as we go for the longest break of a basketball game. Goya Chomgisha, how can you sum it for us statistically and what you have observed on the court tonight?
Well, the UCU Lady Cannons outplaying the KCCA Leopards, 19 points they scored in the second quarter alone, and they limited the KCCA Leopards to just 8 points. That's where the lead change came for the UCU Lady Cannons, who have dominated the Leopards in the paint. Incidentally, they've had 12 points in the paint, and that was courtesy of the likes of Zoe Atek on the drive, Matrina Anyango in the post position, Nantongo Sylvia on the putbacks. So that is where they've capitalized and taken over the ball game against the KCCA Leopards.
Well, we leave you with some of the best moments, and that Lady Jersey 11, Anu, Susan, Rebecca, if the KCCA Leopards are to stay alive, looks like she will have that answer. Let's be back in about 8.5 minutes. You're watching the National Basketball League semi-final series between the UC Lady Cannons against the KCCA Leopards. Cannons lead the series 2-1. Can the Leopards stay alive? We'll be back in about 8.5. How do they begin, starting with this quarter?
Well, like you said, the importance of the third quarter, they've got to outscore the Lady Cannons. They underscored in the second period of the game. So they've got to outscore the Lady Cannons in this third quarter, getting stops on them, but also making their offenses count. First attempt for the corner 3 from Tracy Namugosa at the tip-off of the third quarter results into nothing. So they've got to get a stop. If you are the Leopards, you've got to play defense, deny the Lady Cannons from getting an efficient score on the board to start the third quarter.
There's Tracy Namugosa. Anyo. Kabendela not able to connect from behind the arc.
Well, the instances when it's the big man that attempts the 3-ball, top of the key was Asina Kavendela attempting the 3-ball, because she is the power forward and the player who is tasked to pick the rebounds. She's the one attempting the shot, so there's no presence in the perimeter against the Lady Cannons to try and hustle for the rebound. A good steal, almost a steal from Ninette Uwineza, but the ball rolls over the line.
And the disappointment, if you're the Lady, rather if you're the KCC Leopards, is that sounds basic. I mean, if you're the primary rebound picker
and you're the one shooting.
And you're the one shooting from that distance.
So you either shoot and run in there, try to get your own rebound.
Something like that.
Yeah. Because the rest of your teammates have, they are not bothered. I mean, they know they have no business trying to crash in for the boards. So they don't even attempt to try and crash in for the boards.
Leopards trailing by 6. Looking for answers. Usually she has them. Tracy Namugosa 1-2.
Well, tried to use the Euro step against the closeout defense of the Lady Cannons, but found the lengthy arm of Anyango Matrina on the finish, and Matrina Anyango picked her second block in the game.
Cannons can be such lethal shooters of the ball, but this time they are just in 9. Sylvia Nachituka comes up short. What's the response from the Leopards? Driving layup ends up as an easy pick for the Leopards defense, rather as the Cannons defense, and speaking easy, it doesn't come any more easier for Matrina and Nyango.
Michael, you gave them ideas. The Lady Cannons picking the first bucket in the third quarter. It comes in a little late since the tip-off of the third, but it's well earned from Anyango Matrina. Flow running to the rim, and the pass from Nachituka Sylvia finds her all alone for the 2 points as Tracy tries to get the 3-ball to drop for the Leopards, but falls short on the finish. Ninette Uwineza trying for the rebound, but ball is slapped out of touch by Lamunu Sheila of the Lady Cannons.
Well, if you are asked in the